What's up, guys? Shane here with the Red Creek Bushcraft. I got a totally awesome review of a knife we're going to do today. I think it's been a super anticipated knife for all the guys that are into Bark River knives. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt about it, a lot of talk about it. The pre-order was a big thing and just came out this last Thursday. It was available on DLT and Knife Ship Free, and we are talking about the Bark River Manitou. This one is in leather stacked, obviously. It comes in crew wear steel, and if you stick around and you want to see it do some work, we'll do that here in just a second. Stay tuned. Alright, so here it is in the sheath. Nice leather sheath, like all Bark River knives come with. This one reminds me of one of the original Bravo 1 sheaths. It's got the snap retention, goes over the guard here, fits nice and secure, knife can't fall out. It's got a regular just belt loop, probably 2.5 inch or so. So like I was saying, this one's in crew wear. They're all in crew wear. It's 0.154 thickness, and you can see that they reduce it from right in this area here all the way to the point. So it's sort of kind of like a distal taper in a way. I'm sure there's a special name for it. So you can get these in leather stacked like this. You can get them in black canvas micarta. They've got wood. They've got all kinds of different materials. Like I was saying earlier, it's been very anticipated, very talked about, and I made a comment on the Facebook page of Bark River Knives, which has close to 29,000 members probably. I made a comment that went something along the lines of, you know, the question was, does anybody else think that this is the most anticipated knife Bark River's ever made? And Mike Stewart of Bark River Knives said it's right up there. So a lot of people have been interested in getting this knife. It's got full convex grind, like I said, 0.154 crew wear steel, which is, I mean, it's got a lot of, it's a higher carbon steel. It's not stainless, it's a higher carbon tool steel, CPM, CPM crew wear. I think it's got 1.10% carbon, so it's pretty high carbon. From what I've heard, it's pretty stain resistant, so it's not going to rust super easy. It's not stainless, but it's not going to rust really easy. It's tough, you know. It's right in there, you know, around like the 3V, 4V type steel area. But I've heard that it, you know, it's got good wear resistance. It's got good edge holding, but it also sharpens relatively easy. Now I don't have any experience with it, so I can't say. So in the overall construction, you've got it's 0.149. I might have misspoke earlier. It's 0.149 thickness. It's a reduced tang that comes down to about a 1/4 inch. It's got a threaded rod on the end with a nut, and they grind that off and polish it all up. The guard is epoxied from the rear, so on and so forth. All of this is epoxied together. The reason they don't pin this because it is a reduced tang, and that's going to be the most stressed member of the knife, so they don't pin it. They just epoxy it, because you go drilling a hole, you're going to reduce the strength. And then this isn't a 90 degree where the spine comes into the tang, where this guard fits. It's radiused, because that makes it stronger than an actual 90. So awesome, nice knife, beautiful, nice knife. It's light. It's like 6.21 ounces. It's super light in the hand. So I think overall for this knife, I would consider it, you know, you could use it for hiking. It's small and light enough for hiking. Light bushcrafting tasks, it would be fine for that. I wouldn't consider this a knife you're going to want to beat on a baton. I'm not going to do it with mine. If you choose to do so and buy one, have at it. I'm not going to baton with this knife. I don't feel it's, you know, it's not a full broad tang with scales on each side. So it's, you know, things are screwed together. I just don't think you should baton with a knife like this. But I think, you know, it'd be great for hiking, it'd be great for in the kitchen, it'd be great for around the camp just to have a knife on your side at all times. And obviously it's, you know, really a hunting style knife design. Would be great for caping, skinning, you know, field dressing animals. I think it's going to be great for that. So I think what we'll do is we'll cut some things with it, see how it performs and see how the edge is, and kind of see what we think together. So let's cut some stuff here. Let's start off with our paper cut test. As usual, razor sharp from Bark River. Awesome. Put that down here. I got different assortment things we can cut today. If you ever cut a lime, the outer skin, if your knife isn't sharp, it's pretty tough to get through. You know, you'll push before it'll actually cut. So let's just see how this. I haven't cut anything. It just came today. I've cut nothing except for that piece of paper. Look at that. Watch. Just push it right through. So that's one of the reasons I wanted this knife. I thought it'd be a real awesome slicer. I mean, yeah, you can make a, you know, a 1/4 inch thick knife. That's great. It might cut some stuff, but it's not going to be slicey. It's not going to be good in the kitchen and for food prep like this knife will be. And you know, I bought it for that and for hunting, so I think it'll excel at those tasks. All right, got some cheese here. Hold the comments, but I'm gonna cut this some old cheese I found in the fridge. See how it slices through cheese sometimes is tough to get through with a thicker knife. Got an old green pepper, had 2 of them in a package, still in the plastic, and I don't know if they just never got used, so I figured let's mutilate them. Oh yeah, this thing is crazy slicey, crazy. No pressure at all. I mean, I'm not trying to make this thin, I'm no chef, but you can see how thin a piece it makes really easily. So in the kitchen, be great for that. Super slicey little blade. And stuff for the birds and squirrels. Okay, this is leather that I buy, that my wife makes sheaths for the knives I make. It's about 10, it comes in between 10 and 12 ounce. So it's thick, it's tough stuff. So see how it slices this. And if you've ever cut leather, it does take a good sharp knife to cut it cleanly, and there's just a cut there. You can see I just cut it nice and perfectly smooth. Look at that, perfectly smooth. My wife did this with a X-Acto knife. It's just not that great. That is beautiful. Let's cut that top piece off there. Look at that. Just awesome, perfect. Almost a finish edge on that. It would take nothing to finish that. So that's why I wanted this knife, and it's already performing just like I hoped it would. Just slicey as heck. Light in the hand. And I mean, leather stacked is a leather stacked is a leather stack to me. I like the feel of them. They're smooth, but they have grip to them, and they kind of age with time. You don't really need to do anything per se with leather. Just use it. Just the oils and stuff from your hands will condition it. You don't really have to do anything. I have had knives in the past and I put stuff on them, but you know, it's not really necessary. There's old knives like this that are still in use that guys have never done anything to. So, you know, the extreme that I'd use this knife for in camp would be notching, you know, kind of doing this debarking. I'm not going to beat on this knife. I'm not saying it wouldn't take it, but I'm just not going to take a chance. I've got other knives that are heavy duty. I've got axes I can do that with. This is just a good working knife, utility knife. See how it does on making a notch. Oh man, that thing just goes right in there. Yeah, this thing's incredible. Love it. Look at that. How long did that take me? 5 seconds, made a real nice, perfect notch. We'd make kind of like a tent peg out of this real quickly. Do some pretty aggressive. 1 knot, 2, 3, 4 cuts, then just shape it up. There you go, there's a tent stake. Would work. So, you know, I might baton something like this if I can do it with my hand just to make some kindling. That's about it. I'm not gonna get another stick and beat on this knife. It's made, this knife for me is made to cut, it's made to slice, it's made to skin. It's not made to beat on. Go buy a Bravo 1.5 or something if you want to do that. Or some of the other knives that are available out there. Let's take another look here. The sun's kind of brutal right now. Let me see if I can find something to feather stick. I think it'd be fine and perfect and excellent for feather sticking. Alright, I found, this was just in my yard. I just snapped it off. Piece of walnut off my walnut tree. Let's see what we can do. Let's try to get some of this bark off first of all. Oh, and I didn't bring one, but when I first opened it before I walked out here, I tried it on a fire steel, and the spine is, it doesn't look like it, but it is. It's sharp enough. It struck a fire steel no problem. So it will do that. Yeah, this is going to be a feather stick master. This isn't the greatest wood in the world, but it would do it if you had better wood. What if this is what you had? So you can see all the stuff it's making. Works good for that. This is some more aggressive type cuts on this. This is pretty hard stuff. Yeah, it bites in. This knife is super thin behind the edge, but that crew wear is supposed to have really good edge stability. I mean, this thing really comes down. I mean, you can just feel it so thin. But this type of steel should be able to take, you know, a certain amount of abuse, a certain amount of stress. Like I said, this knife is made for cutting. It's made for slicing. It's made for game processing. It's not really what I consider a knife to beat on, but I think under normal use like this, you know, or heavier use like this, it will be fine. I just wouldn't get crazy. Oh man, this stuff's tough. Got some knots in it. You can see it's just eating right through it. Yeah, I'm super stoked. My nephew got one. Another guy I know got one. A lot of people ordered these right off the I think within the first probably 30 minutes they sold 400 of these. So that tells you how sought after it was. I think the last run of these was 2008. It's been 11 years or so since they made these, and people were really anxious to get their hands on them. So how many are left, I don't know. But like I said, they sold 400 in 30 minutes or so. They made 600 total of all different types of materials, wood, micarta, and leather. I mean, it's a traditional style knife. I had to go with leather. Basically, leather stacked handle. You know, as I said, they reduced this tang. It's square, and they put square pieces, usually, square piece of leather. Just stack them on top of one another with epoxy. They keep epoxy and stick them on. Then they put this nut on here, squeeze it all together with this butt cap, and then they ground it. They grind it to the shape they want. It's a great feel for me. My middle finger just touches, so for me that usually is a pretty good size handle. Yeah, it looked larger. This is 9 inches or 9.2. It's got just over 4.5 inch blade. So sometimes when you see the picture, even though you know the specs, you think a knife is bigger or smaller than it is, and I thought this was going to be much bigger. And I'm really happy with the size of it, because I could carry this most days with me, every day at work. Let's see how it held up the edge so far. Working with that wood and stuff. It's windy, it's hard to cut this paper, but still razor sharp. Well, there you go. You guys got to check it out. There was no videos really on this knife, so I thought this would be awesome to make. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video.